Have you ever experienced that thing where you can't wait to do something that you've been dreaming about for what feels like a really long time, and then it finally comes, and either one, you struggle to stay in the moment and actually enjoy it, or two, it just feels downright uncomfortable instead of fun? Well, that happens to me, and I finally figured out that I'm the problem, and I'll tell you why. This video idea came from a recent experience of mine. My husband and I were on our honeymoon in Menorca at this really beautiful resort. As a couple, we have some pretty big goals. We want to travel internationally at least 4 times a year. We want to retire early, and we want to become financially independent. These goals have been something that we've been working on since we got married in February, and on a daily basis, we talk about what freedom would look and feel like. Though we have these goals, this trip to Menorca has definitely shown us that things can physically change, like no longer needing to get up at a certain time or no longer needing to go to work every day, but there are also mental blocks that come along with change as well. When we arrived in Menorca and saw our resort, we were completely blown away by the luxury of it all. For me, I felt like I had finally arrived. We've been waiting for this holiday for so long. We actually missed 2 of our honeymoons already due to sickness and cancellations. So needless to say, we were definitely ready to get started. But a couple of hours into the trip, I started to notice that my husband was behaving differently. There are some telltale signs that appear when he's uncomfortable, and they were definitely showing. So I asked a few times, and I got the response that nothing was wrong, which of course I didn't believe. But then I started to notice that there was something off with my behavior as well. I started noticing that I was thinking of all of the different problems that I was having at the moment. The fact that I'm not really at the weight I want to be at on this trip. The fact that my skin broke out literally a day before we arrived. The fact that my natural hair was out, and why the heck did I do this? Because I wanted to swim on this trip. All sorts of different negative thoughts came into my head, and I really tried to beat them out one by one. Luckily, I've gotten to the point in my inner work journey where I can see when I'm standing in my own way. I can see when the problems I have are real, or when it's something that my mind is making up to distract me from something else. And this time around, it was definitely a distraction. In this moment, while I was on holiday, nothing was actually wrong. Everything was perfect, in fact. The company, the resort, the weather, the scenery, everything. I told my husband that I was having these negative thoughts, and that I know that it was something to do with the fact that we actually made it on our honeymoon this time, and we were actually realizing some of our dreams. When I was confessing these things to him, his face softened, and he told me that he felt the same. He told me that he was feeling a little bit overwhelmed and kind of stretched at the seams at this huge expansion of his reality. He'd never been in such luxury, and basically neither had I. We weren't used to this level of luxury, ease, and freedom. Even though we spent our normal days back home dreaming about it, we had no idea how to enjoy it when it was right in front of us. It felt too good to be true. And in that moment, we both admitted that there was something inside of us that actually wanted to pack up, go home to our small city, and continue working every day, because that was what felt comfortable and normal. Though we talk about all of the amazing things that we want to do, it seems like there's a part of us that's too scared to reach out and grab it. There's a part of us that wants to keep us where we are in comfortability, sitting on the couch after work watching Naruto and Love Island UK, which by the way is cracking this year. If you haven't been watching it, you're missing out, okay? We were lucky to be able to talk about how we were feeling on the first day here, and just by sharing how we felt, we were able to voice this phenomenon of good change feeling bad. We were also able to encourage each other on our journey and to remind each other that we do deserve this. We work really hard on a daily basis, harder than we really should, and we reminded each other that we deserve the positive change that's coming our way. When we follow motivational content, or we follow people who've done what we want to do, we sort of think of change as a straight line. We think of what we want as something that if only we had it, everything would be perfect. But what I've learned quite recently is that the biggest changes don't come from our environment. They actually come from within. And only when we are somebody different are we truly able to enjoy something different. A lot of the time we already have the ability, or maybe the means, to do what we think we truly desire. It's just that our own beliefs keep us where we are because it's safe. and because it's comfortable. We're not used to this new and improved life that we supposedly want. So I guess the point of this video is to say that you can have what you want. You can change, but you have to overcome you more than anything else. And it takes time, and it's not a straight line the way it may seem. Giving yourself permission to move forward takes time. And even if it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back, it's worth it. Hello everyone, If She So Pleases here. So if the timeline that I'm speaking about in this video sounds strange, that's because it is. I found this script yesterday and it's something that I actually wrote 2 years ago and never posted. I think that's because I was scared of posting non-hair related content because I felt like no one would be interested in watching. But I think I'm at that point finally where I'm going to post it anyway. Reading this script back was so sobering because my husband and I are currently going through yet another growth spurt, much like the one described here. I've mentioned before that we're both pursuing career changes and entering industries that we don't know much about. There's a lot of uncertainty and worry and uncomfortable expansion, but there's also a lot of hope and faith. So when I found this script, I felt like it was a message for me to keep going, because what once felt uncomfortable and new will eventually feel natural and normal. Much like our experience in Menorca. As I was reading this back, I was like, wow, I can't believe I used to feel this way. Since then, we've gone on a bunch of adventures, including going to Egypt, Bournemouth, Ireland, Marrakesh, the Peak District, and we've enjoyed ourselves and we've been able to feel the moment and just fully unplug from everyday life without feelings of uncertainty. So this script just basically reminded me that what we're going through now will also pass. Our new careers will soon be our new normal, and these feelings that we're feeling now will soon be a distant memory. I thought I'd post this just in case it was something that someone else needed to hear. If you're going through something like this right now, I honestly wish you the best, and I hope that this video showed you that things do get better. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!